Picture this. You're at a funeral. Everyone's grieving, tissues everywhere, heavy hearts all around. You head to the reception afterward, and there, among the cold cuts and sympathy cards, sits the most delicious, outrageously indulgent cheesy potato casserole you've ever tasted. And you think, this is incredible. Why is death food so good? Welcome to the world of funeral potatoes, a dish so beloved in Mormon communities that it's become a cultural icon. And stick around to the end, because I'm going to reveal the surprising practical reason why this specific casserole became the go-to funeral dish, and it has nothing to do with taste. First, let's address what we're actually talking about here. Funeral potatoes are a cheesy, creamy potato casserole made with frozen shredded hash browns, the base, cream of chicken soup, the controversial canned classic, sour cream, the tangy richness, shredded cheddar cheese, lots of it, and that iconic cornflake topping mixed with melted butter. It's baked until bubbly, golden, and that cornflake topping gets crispy and buttery. The result? Pure comfort in casserole form. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds like hash brown casserole, or isn't this just cheesy potatoes? And yes, they're cousins. But funeral potatoes have specific characteristics. That cream of chicken soup, that cornflake topping, and most importantly, that name and cultural significance. So why is this specifically a Mormon dish? The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, LDS Church, has an incredibly strong culture of community support. When someone dies, gets married, has a baby, moves into the ward, or basically experiences any major life event, the Relief Society, the women's organization, organizes meals. And we're not talking about ordering pizza. We're talking about home-cooked, hearty, feed-an-army type meals. These women have this down to a science. Now, when you're feeding grieving families, you need dishes that feed a lot of people, can be made ahead, transport easily, reheat well, are universally liked, no adventurous flavors, provide comfort. Funeral potatoes check every single box. Here's where it gets interesting. The actual recipe isn't unique to funerals. It shows up at potlucks, church dinners, family reunions, wedding receptions, baby showers, you name it. So why the morbid name? The theory is that this dish became so associated with funeral luncheons, appearing at nearly every LDS funeral reception across Utah, Idaho, and the Mormon corridor, that people started calling it that potato thing we always have at funerals. Eventually, funeral potatoes just became the official name. It stuck because it was both descriptive and slightly darkly humorous, which, let's be honest, is sometimes exactly the energy you need when dealing with grief. The roots probably go back to Mormon pioneer traditions of community care. When someone died on the trail or in early settlements, the community would gather and bring food. Casseroles were practical. They could be made with shelf-stable ingredients and fed many people efficiently. Today, funeral potatoes have transcended their morbid name to become a beloved comfort food that represents community, caring, and being there for each other during hard times. All right, let's make some funeral potatoes. Don't worry, no funeral required. Ingredients: serves 12 to 15. 2 pounds frozen shredded hash browns, thawed. 1 can, 10.5 ounces, cream of chicken soup. 2 cups sour cream. 2 cups shredded sharp cheddar cheese. Half a cup melted butter, divided. Half a cup diced onion, optional, but traditional. Salt and pepper to taste. 2 cups cornflakes, crushed. 1/4 cup melted butter for topping. Step 1. Mix your thawed hash browns with the cream of chicken soup, sour cream, most of your cheese. Save some for topping, melted butter, onions, salt, and pepper. Get it all combined. Step 2. Spread this glorious mixture into a greased 9 by 13-inch baking dish. Press it down evenly. Step 3. Sprinkle the remaining cheese over the top. Step 4. Crush your cornflakes. A Ziploc bag and a rolling pin work great. Mix them with that 1/4 cup of melted butter until every flake is coated. Step 5. Spread the buttery cornflakes evenly over the top. This is crucial. This is what makes funeral potatoes. Step 6. Bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 45 to 50 minutes until bubbly and that topping is golden brown and crispy. The result? Creamy, cheesy, crispy top perfection that will make everyone at your next potluck ask for the recipe. Remember, I promised to tell you the real reason funeral potatoes became the funeral dish? It's not just taste. It's not just tradition. It's because funeral potatoes can sit out at room temperature longer than almost any other casserole without becoming a food safety nightmare. Here's the thing. Funeral receptions aren't like regular dinner parties. People arrive at different times. The food sits out for hours. You can't exactly have everyone line up at exactly 1 p.m. Most casseroles with high moisture content become bacterial breeding grounds after 2 hours at room temperature. But funeral potatoes, with their lower moisture content, compared to, say, a cream soup or wet casserole, and their completely cooked ingredients, hold up better. Plus, that cornflake topping acts as a slight barrier, keeping the casserole warmer longer. And everything in it is fully cooked before baking. There's no raw meat or eggs that need careful temperature control. So while it's absolutely delicious, it's also brilliantly practical. The Relief Society sisters figured this out through generations of experience. This dish works because it's forgiving when it needs to be. Funeral potatoes have become such an icon that during the 2002 Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City, they were featured on commemorative pins. No joke, an international sporting event celebrated a casserole named after death. They've also jumped from church basements to restaurant menus across Utah and Idaho. You can order them at diners, cafes, and even some fast casual spots. Variations you'll see. Adding crumbled bacon, always a good choice. Using cream of mushroom instead of chicken. Adding diced ham. Mixing in frozen vegetables. Using potato tots instead of hash browns. Adding jalapenos for heat. Ritz crackers instead of cornflakes. Controversial. What's beautiful is how this dish has transcended its LDS origins. Non-Mormon families across the West make it. It shows up at Super Bowl parties, Thanksgiving dinners, and neighborhood potlucks. Funeral potatoes represent something bigger than cheese and carbs. They represent showing up, being there, caring for your community when they need it most. They're called funeral potatoes not because they're grim, but because they show up when things are hard. And somehow, that makes them taste even better, whether you make them for a funeral, a Tuesday night, or just because you're craving comfort food. These potatoes carry with them a tradition of care that's worth preserving. Have you ever had funeral potatoes? Are they a tradition in your family or community? What's your favorite comfort food that means more than just the recipe? Share your stories in the comments. I love hearing about food traditions that bring people together. If this video made you hungry and gave you feelings, hit that like button and subscribe for more food stories that matter.